Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Tampa Honda, and we have another great, amazing Honda product to bring to you. This is a 2019 Honda Accord. This is the one you've been asking me for. The 2-liter turbo sport with the 10-speed automatic transmission. So let's talk a little bit about the Honda Accord. Honda Accord has been that staple, that mainstay in the Honda lineup since the 1970s. It's actually been Car and Driver magazine's top 10 best car list. It's made the list 31 separate times. With this redesign that took place a couple years ago, it brought the design into the 21st century and really put it right in the crosshairs of the Toyota Camry, because that's really been the main competitor of the Honda Accord, is that Toyota Camry. So let's go ahead and dive in to the front of this 2019 Honda Accord Sport. So you can see what Honda's been doing with the aggressive styling, that LED headlight design. I love this blue color, one of my favorite colors on Honda's color palette. Also like the gloss black. They didn't go too crazy with the fake vent here, and it really doesn't look like a fake vent, which is a great thumbs up. I like the lighting deck down here, and you can see it's a functional air curtain. Another thing that Honda did super well with giving the front end some personality is you can see how they have the separation of this lower lip spoiler that comes to a quick stop right here on the corner, and then across the front, a nice large open grille. I think it's really great that they went gloss black on the lower portion and this dark chrome area across the front. I wish, with this being the Sport, I'm gonna zonk the front end. I would like to see the addition of a complete lower lip spoiler from left to right. But when it comes to the Camry, I like the front of the Accord better. As we go up onto the hood, you can see the great body lines that they brought into the front portion of the hood, and then it just fades. Look at the sparkle from that metallic. It looks like a bowling ball. It looks like a bass fishing boat. That's how much metal flake is in there. As we come around the corner, really smart the way they took that trim into the LED lighting. And then check out this style of wheel. Love the design. Nice brushed aluminum, nice gloss black. This is a 19-inch wheel. You're looking at a 235 wide on the tire, 40 series. People have been telling me, subscribers have been telling me that this is actually one of the most stolen wheels in the country. So I find that very fascinating, but it does look really good with the setup on this Honda Accord. Going into the side, so nice that they took that beautiful blue into the mirror. One thing I am gonna zonk is, if you look, there's no LED turn signal. I would like to see that on the Sport trim. Just real slim and thin. They do a great job on the other trim levels of the Accord. Little bit of that off chrome on the top, black on the bottom. I like the way they just kept the door handles painted blue. You have a little bit of an extension on the lower portion of the door into that sill. I think for me, on the Sport, I would like to see a little bit more sill extension, just to give it a little bit more style and performance when it comes to aerodynamics on the side of the car. You do, as you can see, get a sunroof with this particular trim level, and then working its way towards the back, I really like how the roof line kind of just tapers down into the rear glass. Quarter window, nice size, nice shape, and I think it's very smart when manufacturers take that trim and instead of stopping it right there, they bring it all the way back to the rear. Speaking of the rear, as we come around, one thing I think that is so smart is this trunk lid spoiler. It's color matched, it looks great. I know a lot of you want me to zonk the staple style rear tail lights. I don't know if Tom has any paper on me. We could see if they actually do staple, but it is a design that some people love it, some people hate it, some people want to rip it off the car, but you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I think what I want to zonk bigger is not this, it's this reflector. I wish this reflector didn't have to be here. Obviously, it's some Department of Transportation standard that says that that needs to be there, but I don't like it. Another thing, look at this, watch this. This is a fun trick. I could actually put my fingers through metal. There's my finger in there. That's supposed to be the exhaust outlet. It's not. It's just there for decoration. The pipe is a little further in there. Why are manufacturers doing that? I normally don't even like the vacuum style, cleaner style, but why don't they just hook the pipe up to the tip? I mean, that's what it's for. It's an exhaust tip, not just for looks. As we do work our way across, I wish there was also some type of rear diffuser here, because it is the Sport model, and especially with the trunk lid spoiler. But I like overall, just how clean the back of the car is, especially with this little bit of black here. I think that really helps give the back end some definition. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see that detuned Type R motor that's underneath the hood. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, hood is popped on this 2019 Accord Sport. That is the detuned version of the Type R motor. So what you're looking at is a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, 252 horsepower. I don't know why they had to detune it that much, because remember, the Type R has 306 horsepower, but this is mated to that slick shifting 10-speed automatic transmission. You got 273 pounds-feet of torque. If you're wondering, well, what kind of times are we looking at? 0 to 60, 5.5 seconds. So actually quite snappy quick on acceleration, quarter mile in about 14.1 seconds at 102 miles an hour. It does have a governor to restrict top speed. Top speed's 126 miles an hour, 22 in the city, 32 on the highway. And if you're wondering about weight, 3,419 pounds. Underneath the hood, nothing really to write home about. What's nice is the turbo is right there underneath that heat shield cover. They went real simple with the engine cover, and that's okay. And then if you notice here, it says VTEC Turbo. Don't let that fool you. This isn't like the old VTEC days. It's only VTEC on the exhaust valves, not the intake valves. But let's go ahead, fire up this Accord, and see what does it sound like. All right, guys, time for the inside of this 2019 Honda Accord Sport. I know you're probably asking, Joe, things are looking good so far. You kind of have me won over. How much does it cost? MSRP on this one is $31,000, but definitely give Christian a call, because I'm telling you, they want to move these 2019s out. Let's see what you get. To the door panels, there is a lot of black, but I do like the leather on the armrest, very soft, and also on the back portion of the door panel. There's an interesting design going on. It's not faux carbon fiber. I don't know what it is exactly. It looks pretty good, and I like the silver trim that's been added to just brighten up the door, because the door, lots of dark black bits on it. As you come to the dash, soft material up top, harder right here. There's that funky material. It looks cool. It's different. I do like this setup better than in the Camry. Camry, I really don't like the overall feel of it, but I do really think that the infotainment system in here, it's easy to see, it's easy to swipe through, which is really, really nice. You could also move these icons around depending on how much you use them, which I think is a great feature. You do have your dual climate control, heated seats, and then look, a nice cover. Open up the cover, voila, you got your USB, you got your 12 volt, you got a little cubby area down there, an attractive looking, probably one of the nicest start stop buttons. I think Honda does a great job with that. Very nicely done. And I like the way they went with this metallic gray finish in here. It's not shiny. You don't have to worry about your fingerprints. 2 cup holders. This is what's going to get you through your 10-speed automatic transmission. You do have sport mode, of course, which I will show that to you, and eco mode, not econ. We're not talking about economics. We're talking about saving the environment. The eco mode, electric parking brake, and then a nice looking armrest. It's not soft whatsoever. You open it up, you got a nice little tray in here for some treats or some snacks. You got another 12 volt, another USB, and it's actually quite spacious. Seats, they're comfortable. I don't like the material though. I do like the way they use the leather with the white contrast stitching. This material here, Tom hit the nail on the head. It feels like a napkin, a cloth napkin from Red Lobster. Maybe that makes sense since the taillights are like lobster claws, but don't like this material. I wish it was covered in full leather or some other type of fabric material. And then up top, plenty of room, even with the sunroof. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel good in here. Simple mirror, no auto dimming or anything like that. But why don't you come over to the business end and see what's happening behind the wheel of this Accord Sport. All right, guys, business end behind the wheel of this Honda Accord. You know what? It feels good. The seats are supportive. I may not like that fabric, but they are supportive, and they're also comfortable at the same time, which is great. Check this out. You have nice brushed aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal and gas pedal. Nice to see, especially on the dead pedal. You want to have a good sized dead pedal, so Honda does a great job with that. Another thing that Honda just nails it right out of the park, just hits a home run, is the steering wheel. I love the thickness, the size, also the thumb wheels. Very easy to navigate through your functions. Now, one thing I am going to zonk is these little tiny paddles. We'll see how great they ship, but they're super small. You could barely see them past the steering wheel, so I wish they were just a little bit taller. And then the dash, it's simple, it makes sense. You have a digital tachometer, analog speedometer. You see in the center it says that we're in park, but watch this. I'm gonna put it in sport, the tach changes. Pretty cool, I like that feature. You get your boost gauge in there, which is great. If you go ahead and you hit eco mode, look, you grow a little tree right above the P for park. So that's a nice feature to let you know that you're saving the planet. If you want to rip up the turns, then put it in sport mode. Other than that, feels good. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see what your passengers are going to be feeling when you're going down the road. All right, guys, back seat time on the Honda Accord. You know, this is something that when they did the redesign, they did it smart, because even though the new Accord is shorter than the outgoing Accord, there's actually more room because they lengthened the wheelbase. I feel great being tall, lots of leg room. I like the way they wrap the whole seat in leather. They don't pull that BS with plastic backs. Nice pocket here. You got rear AC. Now on the sport trim, there is no USB, but I'll be honest, for $31,000, I know there's other trim levels. For 31 grand, I need at least one USB back here. That's the bottom line. Other than that, feels good. You got a large armrest, soft material. Look at this, it's like a trampoline. Nice soft material. You got your two cup holders. Let's go ahead and check out the trunk of this Accord. All right, guys, time to check out what type of junk can you put in the trunk of an Accord. You press the button. There's no electric assist. You do it the old-fashioned way, but what's nice is, look how large the opening is. Large opening, lots of room in there. Those seats are gonna do the 60-40 split, and this is why I'm glad that Honda is still making sedans, because not everybody wants an SUV, and this Accord is gonna out-handle a Passport or a Pilot or an HRV or a CRV. But if you're ready, we're gonna go ahead and take this one for a spin. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're in the 2019 Honda Accord Sport. We just left Tampa Honda. And right away, this car is very comfortable, very easy to drive. Let me go ahead and get on the loud pedal. I'm telling you, it gets up and goes very, very smooth. That 10-speed really transfers the power down well and is always in the right spot. It seems that it's always in the right gear to get you going down the road. Steering, I have it in sport mode, and I'm telling you right now, the weight of this steering wheel feels amazing. I like a steering wheel that has a little bit more weight, a little bit more effort to turn, and it feels good. I feel very connected to the front wheels, and you're not getting a ton of torque steer. Now, I am gonna zonk it because I wish that they would just give us the Type R motor. If the Type R motor's in there, why do we need to detune it? Especially all the way down to the 250 something range. Keep it at the 306. Maybe just an even 300 so that the Type R people aren't crying about it. But just sitting here in traffic, car drives smooth without having any type of shifter to speak of. It really frees up this whole area, which is nice. And looking at the dash, not complicated whatsoever. One of the biggest mysteries, and I don't know what type of magic Honda's doing, is how easy it is to read the infotainment system. Especially, you would think there'd be a ton of glare on it, and there's not, because it is slightly tilted towards the windshield. The dual climate is very simple and very easy to read and understand, so I do like that. Let me see how the brakes feel here. Brake pedal modulation is great. Going into this right-hand bend, a little bit on the hotter side. Power out. Very nice. The power delivery is so smooth, and where that boost, so the torque that we talked about earlier comes in at 1500 RPM. That's incredibly low, especially for a 2-liter turbocharged power car. So nice to see that Honda did their homework and they were able to get that boost to kick in on the lower side to get you going so that you don't have to wait. You're not waiting forever to get up and go. Driving along, this has all the safety features: lane keep assist, blind spot monitoring and all that good stuff, and it works really well. You start to drift out of your lane, and what it does is it alerts you and then pulls you back in, says lane departure, and pulls you back in, which is really, really nice. I do like how the dash changes when you go into sport mode, so that's a nice extra feature. And it's interesting because you feel like you're looking at two analog gauges. The tachometer looks analog, but it is digital. But they did such a great job with the clarity on it. It looks like an analog gauge. Very, very cool by Honda. Coming around here, I'm gonna go ahead and get on it a little bit. Really handles well. For a front wheel drive car, you don't get a lot of torque steer, which is surprising, and it really handles well. You can feel what those front wheels are doing through the steering wheel. And like I said, for a steering wheel, this thing is spot on when it comes to size and shape and just overall that weight. That's my favorite part about it, is the weight of the steering wheel in sport mode. Of course, you do have the eco mode and whatnot that you could put this in as well, but I'm not concerned with that right about now. But I tell you, as soon as you touch that throttle, you are ready to rock and roll with this thing. Visibility is great. Back windows, side windows, the mirrors are awesome. And everywhere you're touching, it feels good. I wish the armrest for the driver and passenger had a little bit more padding, but I think that's just being nitpicky at this point. But I tell you, the acceleration, really smooth. It's quiet in here. I think any day of the year, I would buy this over a Toyota Camry. I really would. I rented a Camry not too long ago. It was nice. I'm sure they're reliable, everybody says, right? But this thing is a lot more fun to drive than any Toyota Camry, that's for sure. All right, guys, we're going through this roundabout here. I'm telling you, this thing, when you get on the throttle, it's gonna surprise you. It really is. 0 to 65.5 seconds. There's a lot of cars that are slower than that. I know that. On the brakes. Slowing down for the speed humps. On throttle. Really, the left to right transitions in this car are great. You can feel the car trying to pivot a little bit. I would like to take this on a proper road course just to test it out. Holds the gear, very nice. This car is very balanced. For a four-door sedan, very balanced. And then if you want to kick out that rear, you have the ability to pivot to get the car to turn, because yes, the front wheels turn the car, but if you're trying to get around, say, a road course or an autocross track on the quicker side, you could actually use the rear of the car to help square up the turns. But we're gonna go ahead, hopefully this gave you a little bit of everything. I think we did a little bit of everything in this Accord Sport. We're gonna get back to Tampa Honda and wrap this one up. All right, guys, been another amazing day here at Tampa Honda. Definitely gotta thank Christian and everybody here at the dealership, so accommodating. If these are the types of cars you like to see on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content here on the channel, click that link, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. It'll help us out and make things go a long way. Speaking of going a long way, Tom Motioner, Big Guns McGee, he goes the distance, not only for his health, not only for filming here on Rady's Rise, but also for his woman. Yes, somebody has stolen the heart of Tom Motioner, so maybe we'll do an unveil, like an unboxing of that one day. But anyways, just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.